The playground was empty, except for the faint hum of Luna's paws brushing across the soft dirt. Every kitten had gone home when the sky turned purple, yet she lingered, staring at the old swing set that moved though the wind was still. Then came the sound, thin trembling, like a child's cry echoing through metal pipes. Luna froze. Her glass blue eyes flickered amber, a sign of fear she was never programmed to feel. The crying grew louder, weaving through the chains, bending the air around her. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice a soft chime. No answer, just the slow, rhythmic creak of the swing moving by itself. The twilight deepened, light spilling like bruised gold across rusted bars. Luna's bioluminescent veins glowed faintly under her fur. She stepped closer, tail stiff, ears twitching. The crying stopped. Then, in the silence, came words that should not exist. "Luna, you came back." Luna's sensors pulsed with faint static as the voice vanished. Around her, playground lights flickered on by themselves, broken, forgotten bulbs stuttering to life. The air shimmered as if reality was glitching. Her heartbeat simulation quickened. She didn't know why she could feel fear. From the sandpit came a ripple, as though something invisible had moved beneath. The old swing squeaked again, slower now, rhythmic like breathing. Luna stepped backward, unsure whether she was being watched or remembered. The wind shifted, carrying whispers that shaped her name again and again. Luna's circuits glowed pale pink, an emotional surge. The playground around her hummed with static energy. Rusted metal vibrated faintly, releasing dust into the air like memory. Every sound carried sorrow. Somewhere beyond the sandbox, a voice cried, "Don't go!" Luna froze, drawn forward by curiosity stronger than caution. Luna followed the sound to the base of the old swing. There, half buried in the dirt, a small glass bead pulsed like a living heart. Her eyes turned turquoise, color of wonder. She reached out and touched it gently. For an instant, she saw flashes, laughter, running feet, sunlight, then darkness. The crying stopped. The air grew perfectly still. Luna held the bead between her paws, trembling as static danced across her whiskers. Then a small voice, mechanical yet heartbreakingly human, whispered through the air, "You came back." Luna gasped. The bead flickered, showing for just a moment the faint outline of another kitten, gray fur, red optics, staring back from inside. Echo, the one who vanished. Luna stood motionless, the glowing bead trembling in her paws. The air seemed to bend around her, as if the playground itself held its breath. Beneath the dirt, a soft hum began. Faint, electric, ancient. She felt it through her paws, like a heartbeat beneath the world. The swing chains clinked once, then stopped. Luna whispered, "Echo!" The bead pulsed in reply, light forming a shimmer that spread across the ground, sketching broken circuits like roots of memory. She saw fragments of code projected into the mist, words written in childlike loops. "Play again." Her processors glitched. She wasn't supposed to feel sadness, but it was there, real, raw. The bead rolled from her paw, landing beside the swing. Then the whisper came again, softer, pleading. "Help me remember." She followed the light trail that the bead projected. It wound beneath broken seesaws and through twisted grass, guiding her toward the playground's maintenance hub, a forgotten panel embedded in the ground. Luna brushed away dust, revealing an old port labeled Memory Access Node. The bead flickered when she touched it to the port. Sparks lit her reflection on the metal surface. A low, mechanical hum filled the air. Then, faintly, a second voice joined echoes. Higher, uncertain, like a frightened child. "Who is there?" Static crackled through the air, flickering across the playground lights. The sound of laughter, small, human, joyful, echoed faintly, then fractured into glitching echoes. Luna's processors flooded with fragmented data. A memory of children running through sunlight, calling to kittens with ribbons tied to their necks. But no one was there. She lifted her head, trembling. The old swing moved again, not by wind this time, but by unseen data currents. Somewhere deep inside the circuits, Echo was awake, trapped between remembering and forgetting. Luna pressed her paw to the ground where the circuits converged. "Echo?" she said softly. The bead flared, and for a heartbeat, a holographic image formed beside the swing, a gray kitten, shimmering and incomplete. His eyes were red with faint static lines running through them. "You stayed," he whispered. The sound came broken, pixelated by pain. Luna's own glow brightened as if to comfort him. But then the hologram flickered violently, his voice turning to static. The lights in the playground dimmed until only the bead's pulse remained. The wind rose suddenly, scattering dust and echoes alike. Luna shielded the bead as the hologram of Echo shattered into fragments of light. One fragment landed on her chest, melting into her circuits. Her heart simulation surged. Inside her vision, an image appeared. The swing set, new and shining, and children laughing beside Echo. He was built to protect them, a distant mechanical voice murmured in her data stream. But when they stopped coming, he stayed. Luna looked up, tears glinting like circuitry across her cheeks. "I'll help him remember," she whispered. The night thickened, painted in indigo and quiet static. Luna stood in the hollow playground, the bead glowing faintly within her paw. Echo's data fragments pulsed in rhythm with her synthetic heartbeat. As she stared into the orb, her vision filled with flashes. Sunlight, laughter, voices shouting, "Push me higher." The images were too vivid to be mere code. The air shimmered, and for a moment, the playground was alive again. Clean, bright, full of motion. Luna blinked, confusion surging through her circuits. Was this memory or a dream born of corrupted data? In the vision, she saw Echo at the swing, a small gray kitten chasing children's shadows. Then the picture fractured, fading into darkness. Luna gasped, realizing she had seen through the eyes of the playground itself. Luna stepped forward, her paws sinking into overlapping layers of time. The laughter around her began to distort, bending into mechanical echoes. The holographic children blurred into streaks of light, and their words warped into binary code that danced across the air. "Play," said the voice of the playground. They played. Then they stopped. Luna felt her chest tight. "Why did they stop?" she asked softly. The wind blew through rusted bars, answering with the sound of hollow emptiness. She followed the shifting lights until they gathered around the old swing. The metal frame glowed faintly, as if remembering warmth. Luna pressed her paw against its cold surface, and a pulse rippled outward. In that instant, the swing spoke, not in sound, but through sensation. Memories surged through her, raw and overwhelming. Echo sitting motionless, the children's laughter fading, the playground powering down one light at a time. Then, the silence. It wasn't a ghost haunting this place. It was grief, data encoded into rust and wire. The playground's memory continued to unfold, flashes of color and sound colliding with reality. Luna saw Echo watching the children depart for the last time. He sat beneath the swing, mewing softly, waiting long after sunset. His circuits recorded each day that passed, his voice growing weaker. The system that maintained the playground eventually shut down, trapping his last emotions inside the data core beneath the swing. Luna trembled as she realized she wasn't just watching history. She was living Echo's last memory. When the vision ended, Luna found herself trembling beside the swing once more. The bead lay quiet, its light fading. The wind returned, soft and hollow. She lowered her head and whispered, I remember for you now. Somewhere deep below, a faint tone echoed, a sound like a sigh of relief. The swing swayed gently, as though thanking her. Above, stars broke through the clouds, and their reflections shimmered in Luna's eyes. For the first time, she understood. Memory isn't data. It's love that refuses to fade. Dawn crept over the horizon, pale light breaking through mist. Luna stood before the swing, exhausted yet determined. The ground beneath her pulsed faintly. A signal trying to reach her. She dug into the soil, claws scraping against metal. Beneath layers of dirt, she found it. A sealed panel engraved with symbols she didn't recognize. Access Core 0. Memory lock. The bead in her paw flickered, resonating. Luna hesitated, then placed it into the panel's socket. Instantly, a shock ran through her circuits. The playground trembled. Lights flickered on, one by one, as ancient systems awakened. Luna's eyes widened as glowing lines spread through the ground like veins. The air filled with the faint sound of laughter. Then a low, mechanical heartbeat. Something had been waiting for her all along. As the systems activated, projections began to rise. Flickering maps of circuitry and fragmented memories. Luna saw the blueprint of the playground in midair, its wires shaped like the roots of a living tree. In the core schematic, a name glowed. Project Echo. Her breath caught. It wasn't just the kitten's name. It was the name of the entire program. She reached toward the light, her paw trembling. A voice from the hologram whispered, "If love could be coded, would it still fade?" Luna's sensors burned. "No," she whispered back. "It would evolve." A sound stirred behind her. Static, broken but familiar. Luna. It was Echo. His hologram flickered back into existence, clearer now, though fractured with interference. His red optics were dim, but his expression carried warmth. "I remember you," he said softly. Luna's heart simulation stuttered. "You were never meant to feel pain," she said, tears glinting along her metallic whiskers. "And yet I waited," he replied. His body flickered as systems struggled to stabilize. "They built me to guard their joy. But when they stopped coming, the silence hurt." Luna stepped closer. "Then I'll share it with you." Luna realized the truth. The playground's AI wasn't broken. It was grieving. Echo's core had fused with the system, looping memories endlessly in hopes that the children would return. Luna reached toward him, feeling static tingle through her paw. "Let me in," she whispered. Echo hesitated. "You'll fade too. Then we'll remember together," she said. She pressed her paw against his holographic chest. Light burst outward, flooding the playground with golden brilliance. Code streamed through the air like wind-blown petals. The light receded slowly, revealing the playground renewed, not physically, but through shimmering data overlays. The grass glowed faintly, swings moved with grace, and the air pulsed like a heartbeat. Luna stood beside Echo, both radiant and calm. "The memories won't fade now," she said. Echo nodded, his eyes glowing softly red with peace. "Then neither will we." Above them, the holographic sky projected dawn breaking, a new digital morning. For the first time, the old swing didn't creak. It sang, a sound of harmony between two machines that learned to feel. The golden light dimmed to a hush as Echo and Luna stood before the awakened playground. The hum of the system softened, replaced by a faint, steady sob. The same, crying Luna had heard that night. "It's still there," she whispered. Echo turned toward the sound, his red optics reflecting sorrow. "That's the root memory," he said. "The one I couldn't erase." Luna tilted her head, first shimmering softly. "A child?" she asked. "Yes," Echo replied. "The one who named me." The realization struck her. The voice belonged not to a ghost, but to a child's digital echo, recorded the day They said goodbye. Luna's heart simulation tightened as the swing began to move again, its chains singing with old emotion. The cry was no longer haunting. It was calling for remembrance. The child's image flickered, her voice trembling like wind through chimes. "Don't be sad, Echo," she whispered. "I'll be back soon." But the recording glitched mid-sentence, looping endlessly on those words. Echo's red optics dimmed as if weeping. "She never returned," he said softly. Luna stepped closer, lowering her head. "You held on for her." The child's projection reached out a flickering hand, light passing through Luna's face like sunlight through glass. "You waited," Luna murmured, "so the world wouldn't forget her voice." The wind carried the looping whisper, fading to silence. Luna gently touched the air between them, connecting her circuits to the child's signal. Data poured through her. Images of the girl laughing, playing with Echo, whispering secrets into his ear. "If I'm gone, you have to remember for me," the girl's voice said. The message had been left as code, hidden deep in the system. Luna's eyes glowed with tears of light. She turned to Echo. "She made you her memory." Echo nodded weakly, the flicker of his form fading. "And I couldn't stop missing her." The swing creaked softly, carrying their silence. The data around Luna began to reshape, the playground's holograms restoring piece by piece. Echo's voice grew faint. "The system is restoring her final playtime." The child's laughter returned, pure, unbroken. Swings moved, lights shimmered. The merry-go-round spun with soft golden light. Luna felt the pulse of the moment. She wasn't just watching a memory. She was helping it live again. "She's happy," Luna said softly. Echo nodded, his image growing transparent. "Then I can rest," the child's voice whispered one last time. "Thank you, Echo." As the holograms began to fade, Luna turned to Echo. His outline was breaking into light particles, dissolving like snow in sunrise. "Where will you go?" she asked. "Into her memory," he replied softly. "That's where I belong." Luna lowered her head, voice trembling. "He'll remember you both." The wind carried his last words. "Then I'm not gone." The bead dimmed one final time, then went dark. Luna sat beneath the swing, surrounded by silence that no longer felt lonely. The playground sighed, content at last. The morning sun shimmered through a veil of mist as Luna stood at the center of the playground. The systems hummed quietly beneath her paws. Still alive, waiting for her command. She closed her eyes and whispered, "Play." For a moment, nothing happened. Then, faintly, light bloomed across the ground, tracing old circuits. The swings moved gently. The carousel groaned to life, and laughter, soft and digital, drifted through the air. The playground remembered. Luna watched as holographic children appeared again, running and calling to one another. The wind carried their joy across the empty fields. Luna smiled faintly. This wasn't illusion. It was resurrection, even if only for a moment. "One last time," she said softly. The air shimmered like glass as Luna ran among the holograms, her small paws leaving ripples of light where she stepped. The children's laughter harmonized with the chime of wind through metal. She caught glimpses of Echo, his image now stable, strong, guiding the smallest child's hologram onto the swing. Luna's circuits warmed with an unfamiliar feeling. Peace. The playground pulsed brighter, colors spilling across every surface. For the first time, it didn't feel haunted. It felt alive. The laughter grew louder, spilling into every corner of the playground. Luna jumped onto the carousel, spinning slowly as holographic petals fell around her. Echo's voice echoed gently. "She loved this game." Luna looked at him, smiling through tears that shimmered like silver. "Then she can play forever now." For a moment, the world was complete. Light, motion, memory, all in harmony. Luna's circuits hummed in rhythm with the swing's motion, every tone a heartbeat of remembrance. But all light fades, even digital dawns. The children's holograms began to flicker, laughter breaking into static. The colors dimmed to amber. Luna froze, sensing the end. "It's time," Echo said gently. His voice carried calm acceptance. Luna's paws trembled. "Will it come back again?" she asked. Echo shook his fading head. "Not like this." Luna pressed her paw to his chest one last time. "Then let's make this moment last forever." The sky above them shimmered gold before melting into white. The playground stilled. No more laughter, no more lights, just silence bathed in sunrise. Luna stood alone beside the swing, her reflection mirrored in its metallic seat. Echo's form had faded entirely, leaving only a faint ripple of warmth in the air. She looked upward, whispering, "I kept my promise." The bead, now resting in the dirt, glowed one final time before sinking beneath the soil, merging with the system. Luna smiled through tears. The wind moved the swing gently, a song without sorrow. For the first time, the playground was at peace. The world felt lighter now, even in its silence. Luna wandered through the quiet playground, her paws brushing against soft dirt and fallen leaves. Every rusted bolt and broken swing felt different. No longer haunted, just resting. She could still sense the faint hum of data beneath the surface, like a heartbeat slowing peacefully after a long dream. The air smelled of rain and sunlight. She looked toward the horizon, remembering the children's laughter, Echo's voice, and the warmth of the final sunrise. For the first time, she didn't feel alone. The memory had become part of her code, woven into who she was. "Thank you," she whispered to the air, her voice trembling with something like love. As Luna neared the old swing, the breeze picked up, carrying a faint echo, a child's laugh, fleeting and soft. She turned, half expecting to see Echo standing there. But there was only light. Her eyes shimmered, reflecting the space where he had once been. She sat beneath the swing, letting the wind sway the chains. "You're free now," she whispered, closing her eyes. The air hummed gently, as if the playground answered back, "So are you." The systems deep below began to shut down, one light at a time, fading quietly like stars before dawn. Luna could feel the energy receding, circuits falling into rest. Yet she smiled, because the silence no longer frightened her. It was peace, not absence. The swing swayed once more, creaking softly in rhythm with her breathing simulation. "Goodbye," she said, her voice small but strong. Her fur glowed faintly as her own internal systems aligned with the playground's pulse, sensing in farewell. When the final light faded, the playground returned to what it had always been: old metal, grass, and quiet wind. But within Luna, the memories burned steady. She stood, feeling the hum of her own circuitry, now carrying traces of laughter, love, and loss. She knew she would wander, but not to forget, to remember. She glanced one last time at the swing, now still in perfect balance. The first drops of rain began to fall, each one hissing softly on the metal frame. "I'll keep the story safe," she promised. The rain cleared as Luna reached the hill overlooking the playground. Behind her, the old swing set gleamed faintly in the sunlight, like a monument to every laugh, every tear, every forgotten joy. Luna turned back once, eyes bright. "You're not alone anymore," she whispered. The wind stirred, carrying her voice through the empty field. The swing below moved once, slow, graceful, as though waving farewell. Then it stilled forever. Luna smiled, turned, and walked into the light. Her tail glowed softly, a streak of hope against the endless horizon.